Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a hot minute since I've uploaded my last video to my channel, and there's a good reason for it, and I'll tell you guys all about what I've been working on in the last month and a half in my next video. But today's video is all about everything that I've learned after 1 year being a digital nomad. Yes, you heard it right. At the end of this month is going to be exactly 1 year since I became a digital nomad. And I still remember vividly what it was like sitting on a 15 hours plane ride from Toronto to Asia. I was really excited, but deep down I was nervous as hell. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know how to even manage traveling and working at the same time. I have no idea how long I'll be gone for, but my gut somehow was telling me that this was the right thing to do and that I should be taking that leap of faith. So here I am. A year later, I've not only checked off many places on my bucket list, I've met with so many interesting people around the world, and I even started my YouTube channel and my own business called the Social Nomads Academy. It's a coaching program that helps other aspiring digital nomads to become freelance social media manager so that they can travel and work from anywhere in the world. And all of this is happening during a freaking global pandemic. Like, I cannot even begin to comprehend how much could happen in a year. Honestly, guys, the decision of becoming a digital nomad has been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. And I've learned so much throughout this journey, and I'm continue learning every single day. So today's video is all about me sharing with you guys all of the important life lessons that I've learned after a year being a digital nomad. So let's get started. Lesson number 1, expect the unexpected. Just because you wake up every single day on an exotic location doesn't mean that life will just stop happening. You know, you can plan however you want, but just be prepared for the unexpected. For example, probably just like a lot of you guys that I had to cancel most of my travel plans for this year because of a pandemic. And I know it's like nothing significant compared to a lot of other stuff that are happening in the world. You know, I don't want to be the one that's complaining about this like first world problem or whatever. I'm fully aware of what's happening in the world, and canceling travel plan, it's like probably the least I should be worried about on a global scale, right? Now that I look back at it, it's not all that bad, you know. Without canceling all of my travel plans for this year, I wouldn't had a chance to really immerse myself on a tropical island and live that island life. And I wouldn't be starting my YouTube channel and my coaching business because I'll be too busy traveling, or God knows whatever I'll be doing. I guess what I wanted to say is, yes, there are lots of uncertainty and changes around us, especially during this time. But I've learned to find ways to deal with these uncertainties, and that is 1, plan some, not so much. B, always leave room for changes and universal magic, because there's always going to be a wild card that you haven't touched of yet. And C is relax and be positive and believe that things will always work out at the end. So whatever that you're obsessing about planning at the moment, just take a deep breath, keep these things in mind, and let go a little, because it will all work out at the end. The second lessons that I've learned is that slow travel is awesome. I don't know about you guys, but I used to have this mentality of fast travel. So I would basically go to one place, stay there for maximum like 2 to 3 days, and then quickly move on to the next place. I did check off quite a few destinations on my bucket list in a short amount of time, but I got burnt out pretty quickly. And then later on, I realized that it was such a shallow experience because I didn't even bother to learn about the history of the place. I didn't even make friends with the locals. I was really there to just take photos for the gram and perhaps checking off a few places with my own eyes, and that was it. It was such a shallow experience, and I gotta admit that I was a little bit of a shallow person. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, going to places and take pictures for the gram. I do this all the time. But I just feel like there's gotta be a different way of traveling. But ever since I became a digital nomad, I realized that one of the beauty of being a digital nomad is that we have power to be fully in control of how long we wanted to stay in a particular place, and we can stop whenever we want. If we wanted to stay in the place for like 6 months, we can do that, or a year, we can do that. There's really no agenda. And that's when I fell in love with the concept of slow travel, or traveling at a slower pace, because it allows me to fully immerse myself and delve deeper into a destination. And I can really understand and gain a much deeper and much more meaningful connections with the place and its people. Another really important thing that I wanted to point out in regards to slow travel is that I feel like it's our global duty to not only travel in the future in a more slower pace, but also we should all travel more responsibly, sustainably, and safely than we used to. And the reason why I'm saying this is because my experience living on this island has allowed me to see firsthand how much of a devastating impact this global pandemic has on the local communities here. And you know what? It's not just the local communities here, but it's all the communities around the world that rely heavily on tourism for their livelihood. They all got hit pretty badly because of this pandemic. So the Gilead Island is still pretty much in a lockdown mode. Most of the villas, like this one behind me, used to be super popular among tourists. Now it's completely empty because of the coronavirus. Even though I really enjoy the sunset behind me, and I really appreciate every moment that I have on this island, but at the same time, seeing all the empty business here on the island just made me so sad at the same time. It's been months since they last opened to tourists because of the lockdown and the pandemic. So I hope that in the future the island will be open soon, the pandemic will be under control, and so that tourists can come back and enjoy this island, and most importantly, the locals will have their job back and the business can flourish again. So I highly urge those of you who are thinking of becoming a digital nomad in the future, or really just those of you who are planning to travel in the near future, is that, slow down, take your time, and spend more time in a destination, because you can really help make a big difference for those communities. So the next lesson is always prioritize taking care of yourself before anything else. This is huge because I've learned this the hard way. So when I started working remotely, I basically abandoned all of my good habits, working out, eating healthy, getting proper sleep. So instead of doing all of this, I picked up some really bad habits. So I was out most of the time in a day trying to see and do everything, and whatever time that I have left, I squeezed it to work on, my client's project. And for the longest time, I was staying up really late until 3 or 4 a.m. trying to finish my client's project and trying to accommodate clients in different time zones. And because of this, I wasn't getting enough sleep. I ate out all the time, and I just physically and mentally couldn't handle stress properly. I wasn't showing up as my best self. And one day I just crashed. I got really sick that I couldn't get out of my bed, and I had to get an IV injection to numb my pain. But thank God, eventually I got better, but man, it was quite a horrific experience because I've never gotten that sick for a long time, let alone it was happening on a remote island in a foreign country. Now I know absolutely for a fact and for certain how critical it is to take care of yourself on this journey. And, especially, being a digital nomad, the thing is, things are constantly changing around you. So always make it a priority, make it a habit to take care of yourself. And now I have the awareness to recognize when things are slipping, and I take action and change course immediately when that happens, because that low sucked hard and I never wanted to get back to that point again. So no matter what, always take care of yourself. Okay, so the next lesson is a bit cliche, but I truly believe that traveling and the people that you meet traveling will be the greatest teachers in your life. Do you know that 90% of who we thought we were was just a preconditioning of our childhood and the environment and the culture that we raised in? I didn't realize how true that is until I started my digital nomad journey. Every time a new place that I traveled to, every new person that I met traveling, new cuisine that I tasted, new culture that I experienced challenged me. It made me look at myself in the mirror from a different perspective and made me see and experience things that a book can't teach me. I discovered new food, music, and language that I love that I would never realize unless I was exposed to it. I feel like after a year of being a digital nomad, I clipped away who I thought I was and became more of who I really am. And this is purely shaped by the places I traveled to and the people that I met. It's as though you get to see and experience everything and pull from it of what you choose to take with you. All right, so the last but not least lessons that I've learned being a digital nomad is you shouldn't wait to start living. Life can change in a blink of an eye. It will and it does. Just look at everything that's been happening this year. Sometimes I can't help but think, man, if I just waited for 3 more months until I hop onto that plane, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now. I wouldn't have the experience that I have. I wouldn't have met the people that I've met today. I'm so grateful that I took that leap of faith without overthinking and overcomplicating things. There's really no perfect time to start the life that you desire, and there's no reason to postpone your best life either. So my advice to you is that sometimes you don't have to have it all figured out. All you have to do is just to know what to do next or have the guts to try something in the face of uncertainty. So that's all the major life lessons that I've learned after a year of being a digital nomad. Just remember, guys, as cliche as it sounds, life is what you make it. You are in full control of what you do, how you live your life, and your reaction to the things that you cannot change. So just remember, you have more power than you think. All the things that happen in your life is the result of your decisions or your actions. So make a good one. That's really deep. I can't believe it came out of my mouth. Anyways, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys in my next one.